Hello once again. In this particular question, there is kind of like a difference between the way the rent adjustment is given. In the previous, if you've watched the other ones, the rent is not given an increase in terms of percentage, but you're given a particular figure, how much the rent increased by. So we'll be looking into that and see how you can, solve that or calculate the the monthly rental income after increase. Right. The question says you are given a pre-adjustment trial balance. Right. Remember this. I'm just kind of like cutting off, part of the income statement or part of the question and focusing on rent adjustment. I'm just cutting off the rent adjustment part. Then you're given a pre-adjustment trial balance on 29 February 2020, and you are required to complete the income statement for the year ended 29 February 2020. That means the year started on 1 March, right, 2019, right, and ends on 29 February 2020. The rent given in the trial balance is 264,420. Adjustment for rent is the rent income includes rent received for March. Right, so the 264,420 includes rent for March, and by March 2020, that will be the next financial year. So we need to calculate how much rent was for March and remove it from our current year income statement, right, in terms of the rental income. Then the rent income increased by 1,560 per month from 1 September, right, 2019. Okay. All right. So once we have that, what you need to now identify is the rent that you received for how many months. So the rent that is received, so you received rent of 264,420, and that's for, because the year ends on 29 February and you receive rent for March 2020, so that's for 13 months as well, right? Okay, then the second thing that you see here is rent increased by 1,560 on 1 September, 2019. It's kind of like a different approach from the percentage given. So if the rent was received, right, was increased by 1,560, right, so what we need to do, we need to calculate the monthly rental incomes. This is the way you calculate it. Right, how many months was rent increased for, right? So what we do is we're going to say 264,420 minus, right, 1,560, because that's the amount the rent was increased by, right, by how many months, right, from 1 September 2019 to 31 March 2020, that should be 7 months, right? That's September, October, November, December, January, February, March, right, times 7, right? So all this divided by what? By 13 months. Remember, the total amount was received for 13 months. So if we were to calculate this, that's 1,560 times 7. So that will give you 10,000. So this is 10,920. Right, so basically we're going to say 264,420 minus 10,920, then divided by 13. Right, so the answer here is, sorry, I used the wrong color. So the answer here is 19,500. So this is rent. This rent is before the increase. That means that's the rent that we're paying from the first day, the first month. That is March 2019. They were paying 9,500. But however, we want the rent after the increment. So to get the rent after the increment, or the rent for March that was paid for, that we received for March 2020, so that will be 19,500 plus the increase. Remember, here we calculated rent before increase, so this is before increase. That's before increase. So after the increase, rent will be that's plus 1,560. That will be 21,060. Right. So basically, what I did here is, you see this amount here, right? This amount here, it includes, you know, the rent after the increase. So this part here, I'm just taking out the increased portion for all the months that the rent was increased, so that the rent will be the same from March 2019 to March 2020, so that there is no increase. I just took the increase out of it so that I can divide by 13 months, so that the rent will be the same. Then after that, the amount that I get, I'll add back the increase for the month that is received in advance. Right, then once that is done, then you have to go to you know, your other incomes. Right, you go to other incomes, then you say rent income, that's 264,420, right, minus 21,016, right, 264,420, that will give you 243,316. That will be the adjustment that you make. Then of course you have other income that will follow under rent, but that's how you need to write that particular adjustment for rent. So the only difference now is you are given an amount rent that was increased by, and on the working now you need to take out the increase for the number of months that the rent was increased by. Then once you take out that increase, then you can divide by 13, because rent will be even by then.